Okay, she's been a little feisty tonight. um, anyway, I think this is someone that has realized, oh, you know what? We actually have to do stuff, or there has to be follow through behind what I'm saying. And they want you to understand that they get that now. This is someone that understands the value of actually following through with what they say they're going to do, or wanting and planning for a future. And it's not just lip service, and then when the time comes, it's like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to. It's like they just spinning your wheels. I think they understand that it can't just be about kind of have a safe haven, or it's almost like there was a lot of emotional upheaval and busyness instead of moving past issues and moving forward and into a connection with each other. There could have been, it feels like someone was kind of wanting you to be really emotionally available all the time. And that's what the relationship was about for them, was this like emotional safe haven. And because of that, there could have been some codependency. There could have been somebody always having a different emotional need every time you met them or saw them or whatever, because it was like they didn't have any trust. And yet they're wanting you to trust them now. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so what's this Five of Swords about? Yeah, so this is many discussions of the practical side of like, okay, well, what does a future together look like? Like, let's actually decide on something instead of this just being kind of like this passionate, dramatic connection each time, and always this upheaval of emotion, but there's never any progression here. And it doesn't look like it set you back any. It's just, you're like, I just don't want the drama. Like, I didn't want the drama then. I don't want it now. So if you're coming in, you better come correct, because I have no time for that. Their trust is coming up here huge. And that is actually because there hasn't really, when you're together, it's great, but then they go away and drama ensues, and then they want to come back for safe haven and to be spiritually fed and emotionally cared for, but then they're off again. And I don't think they mean to do it. I think this is just someone that's, they want that part of their life to end, and I think they see you as integral to that, because I think you're very grounding for them. The only thing is that you don't want to be like I don't know. I could see how that could get exhausting if you're always providing safe haven, right? So this is a series of brass tacks talking about, okay, well, what does partnership in 6 months look like? Is it going to be you going off on some mission or issue again and needing to recover emotionally from that, and we have to put everything on hold here to get you back up and running emotionally? Like, what's going on here? So I think this is, let's clear the air here. Let's get all our grievances out. Let's get down to brass tacks and talk about what this partnership's going to look like. Like, how do you see us being together? Because I'm not doing the back and forth and the up and down. When it's good, it's good, but when it's bad, it's really bad, and it's dramatic, and it takes its toll. And so I think this is someone that wants you to now consider that this is what they want. It doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to happen, because of course free will, and you have your own choice, right? Some of you might balk at this and be like, no, but this person wants you. They feel pretty strongly about the connection you have, and they want you to weather the emotional ups and downs with them. So I think what's new here, or what could be like, because you've already been there up and down with him. The thing is that I think they want you to stick around for the good and the bad. I think they want the commitment and the stability through the wonky times, not intermittent, like you go away, you break, you do like this. I think they want you to take the good with the bad. I think it's almost like a barter. It's like, okay, I'll give you the stability, but you have to let me have my emotional fallouts. Like, you have to let me fall apart emotionally. You have to let me, and that's, I don't know about that trade-off, honestly. I think this is someone that is asking you to accept them how they are with their emotional intensity, and, I don't know what irascibility means. I'll have to look that up, but that word just flew in my head. Irascibility. Is that a made-up word? Sounds like rascal. I don't even know what that means. But the emotional up and down that has kind of prevented them from connecting before. I think I think they want to let that go. I think they want to transition through that, but they also recognize that I can't promise that. I don't know why it's like that. I'm working on it, but I don't want that to be when I get there, when I go there, when my intensity rears its head. I don't want that to be where we have to go, or I have to go away again. And I want you to still be there if I leave in a huff. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that. I'm going to look up irascibility. I don't know what the heck that means. Hold on a minute here. If you're irascible, you get angry easily, perhaps blowing up in rage when someone brushes into you. Irascible comes from... Okay. Well, geez. I don't know if I like that. Easily provoked to anger. Very irritable. Oof. Okay. Well, all right, Aquarius. And the thing is that you know this person best, and you get them, and you understand. Here's Gemini. I don't know if I said that. So, but it's almost like, well, you can handle them. Yeah, but it doesn't mean you want to all the time. Like, they get to be the one that's kind of, and there's part of you that loves that about them, but the other part is like, you know what? Can it just be about me sometimes? Like, does it always have to be about kind of maintaining you emotionally? Can it be about us or me? Like, do you ever, Aquarius, get to kind of have that, be that way? Entirely possible that this is their issue with you, and it could be like, okay, I need you to be a little calmer and this and that. I don't know if that's a fair trade, though, and I don't know if I want somebody coming in going, you know, I love you, but I need you to be more, No, because when you say I love you, but, it negates I love you. But whenever you say but, it negates what you just said before it. So just tell me what you want, and I'll tell you yes or no. Okay, so, all right. Things have to get hashed out. It's almost like this is someone that's like, you know, we've been through this enough. I know how I am. You know how I am. When it's good, it's really good. But you know I have a propensity to be a certain way, and I need you to withstand that. I need you to accept that about me. Okay, that's fair. Good for them for being like, I know myself. I know how I am. But it can also be a very tall order to ask somebody, because when this person goes off the rails, they really go off the rails. And that word irascibility or whatever, what that fits here. This is someone that has a temper that is, they can be pretty dramatic and they can be pretty intense. And that kind of non-accountability, not being responsible for their behavior, if they say and do hurtful or cruel things, that takes its toll. You can't ask somebody to stick around for that. Unless you pay somebody, a therapist or somebody else. I mean, but we're talking about a relationship here, and we need to be mindful of our communications and communicate responsibly and all that. I mean, come on now. So for me, this is baby steps, which is going to be for the foreseeable future, which I don't know how that's different from before. Maybe you weren't talking before, right? And maybe, you know what, that might have been what it was, is that it finally stuck, that you actually stopped all communication. And I mean, this expression fits it perfectly. Like, you know what, I'm not having this anymore. Get control of yourself, and then we can talk. But until then, I'm out. So, this could be that silent treatment. They're like, okay. But I feel like what they're asking you to do is accept that part of them, which, like I said, it kind of shows growth for them, reflecting and realizing that's how they are. Okay, kudos to them. But that's a tall order to be like, you know what, some days I'm just going to really be a crappy person and I need you to love me through it. Oh, that's more of a parent thing. I don't know about that. Define crappy. Define what that bad day is going to be like, or what. I mean, I don't know. It's going to be up to you. I get the sense, though, that you kind of know them, and that's why they're coming to you with that, because they're like, I love you. You know how I am. Again, that's fair, but I don't know many that would sign up for it. So this is going to, again, this reading presupposes or assumes that this is going to be your choice. Obviously, they want it. It's taking a look at why, and it'll be your choice if you want to sign up for this or not. But this is someone that is finally ready for the good and the bad. Before, it was like when it's really good, but then when things got weird, they'd leave in a huff or whatever. Well, this is someone that wants to stick around through their huffiness, but they want to know that you're not going to reject them or cast them out, or that you've got to be okay with it too. They're tired of trying to be something they're not, or trying to be good, or feeling like I can't mess up. That's what's showing here, is that they want when it gets wonky, when it gets weird, when it gets uncertain, when it gets dramatic and all that, they want, and whatever's going to come from that, they want to know that they still have safe haven with you. Again, not sure how realistic that is, but maybe for your dynamic, that works. I think too, there's the recognition or the realization that, I do need to emotionally care for myself, and I do need to be more mindful of my emotional connection and nurturing that with my Aquarius person. So there's acknowledgement of this, which is awesome, but there's still some work to be done. And it's baby steps, This is like kind of vetting and clearing the air, making some decisions, taking the time to have things progress and see. The only thing that I feel like is different than what you've been doing with this person is they're actually mindful of this because you have kind of shut down on them and not really talked to them for a while. And they're like, okay, now I get it. This is the first time I think that you've actually stayed away or that you've not been available to them. And I think they're kind of feeling the sting of not having you and the stability and not doing the dance with you. So that has brought about some epiphanies and realizations. But is that enough to change the behavior? I mean, this is baby steps, because now they're finally aware of it and they get it and they know, okay, I realize how impactful it is when I do that. But again, tall order to sit there and be like, I just need to be able to go off the rails sometimes. There's not many that would work for. So if you're familiar with that dynamic with this person and okay. But I mean, we got the moon twice here, that and the nine of wands. 5 of wands, 5 of swords, 9 of swords. This is just you keeping them at arm's length and enjoying a physical relationship with them, because that's not lacking. Let's be honest. That's fun, right, with this person. But as far as the stability piece, and maybe you're like, okay, I want to impose a no shenanigans rule. I don't know if that's realistic with this person. And they're asking you to kind of be aware of that, like to just, I can't be something I'm not. I just worry that the whole I'll try, it looks like this Page of Wands instead of the Queen of Cups or the Queen of Pentacles. Instead of a consistent, solid effort with respect for someone else in mind and the partnership in mind and the stability. This also, it could be that someone has an issue with addiction, drugs, alcohol, drinking, indulging too much, and that's taken its toll on the relationship. That could be a part of why they have these behavioral mood swings or why they act unpredictably, or it exacerbates them being cranky or irascible and all that. That word I'm going to forever use now, irascibility. So this could be about them coming back going, look, I'm clean, or I want to make an effort to not be that way, and I know these things affect it. I'm going to take better care of myself. I'm not going to do all those, things that make me kind of weird emotionally. Not going to drink as much. Not going to do it. Could be this someone saying, okay, I get it now. But if you take away the coping mechanism, which is basically, to soothe, or you do whatever to soothe, or there's an addiction in place, that taking that binky away, that blankie away, that security thing that helps us deal with that, that's going to give rise to a lot of stuff bubbling up from the soul, like a lot of self-conscious or subconscious issues that might cause a lot of drama. The difference, again, is that somebody's aware of that now. Rather than defending it, they're going to be like, well, yeah, okay, I don't know what to do about it. Yeah, I finally acknowledge, I'll admit that, okay, I get weird when I do this, or this is exacerbating how I am, but I don't know how not to do that or what to do without it. So it's almost like this is at a turning point, and this person is aware enough to say, okay, can you handle me like this? And you're like, yes, I can, but I need you to be more responsible about it. Like, you got to meet me halfway. If you know that when you do this or that, it's going to make you this way, you can't do this or that. It's about this person practicing self-care and management as well, and being a more responsible partner. And I think this is you. We got the Page of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles. This is you giving a lot of time to see, with this new caveat that they're actually aware and admitting without being defensive of their shortcomings, of their issue to kind of go off the rails, and with no observable trigger, or like, what the heck's going on? I don't know. Okay. That needs to be managed. So this back and forth you used to do, there was a cutoff. It helped them realize, okay, maybe I can't, maybe this person's worth it. I can't be like that anymore. I don't know how not to be because I've got a lot of stuff going on. But I do want to acknowledge and I do want to work towards something. And I think that's why you're talking to them again, or that's why you're allowing for this, is because they're aware of it now. Just make sure that they're not saying that to get their foot in the door and then they drop the ball and we're back to drama land again. You got the Sun. All right, so that's the yes card. Also keep in mind, though, that this is about illuminating everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. This is bringing understanding, resolution, all of that. But it also shines light on the things that are hidden. So we got the Sun with the Moon here. I mean, this is looking at everything. This is everything out in the open. We're clearing the air. We're talking about everything and what partnership means to us. That's what I want to say. This could be someone's escapist behavior. Someone that does things to escape, or they just check out emotionally on the relationship when it gets, they just have had their fill and they just need to check out. And it's like, you don't really know why. They just have this threshold and you're like, we need to look at that. And they're like, but I need you to accept that about me. I can accept it about you, but I need you to look at that also, because that makes you unavailable for me. And then it becomes a ministry, and my back's starting to hurt from the weight of having to carry this. Ooh, enthusiasm, excitement, and warmth. Orange. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so again, the fun side of things are there. The adventure, the passion, we got the Sun card, the optimism, the love is there, the emotion is there, the connection is there. But that's just the one part of it. There needs to be this Ace of Pentacles energy as well, this stability. There needs to be truthful conversation. There needs to be some truth had some realizations and everything out on the table. Everybody in the pool. All right. Ooh, mama. Bound. All right, so that's what this felt like right here. It felt like unhealthy. Something's got them stuck. Something needs to be dealt with. Something keeps bubbling up and causing drama, and it needs to be dealt with. And that's what keeps getting in the way of you. Otherwise, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? Otherwise, it's great. But when it flares, whatever this is an issue. And that's why I think the Sun showed up. It's like, we need to look at that. And that's why this Five of Swords, the Five of Wands, and this Knight of Pentacles, this is like, before we're going to take baby steps. We're going to be doing some examination here. This person has reached a turning point. The lack of access to you has made them kind of have to look at themselves. And they've reached a turning point. It's going to be very, you're going to need to keep, basically, I was going to say it's going to be very interesting what that yields, but of course, free will and free choice and all that. But they have to, there has to be accountability for their actions. It's not enough to be aware of how their actions affect people or how irresponsible. They have to do something with that now. They are duty bound, to manage that, especially in a relationship with this this magnitude here. Like this is a pretty meaningful relationship to you both. So this needs to get resolved. Whatever has got them wonky and flaring and causing drama, it's time to really take a look at that and manage that. And that's your person's job, not yours. So if they've been enlisting you to help them because they just are having a bad day and they just need you to manage, they're like, no more. Because that's too much for you. Honestly, that's not healthy for anybody. Oh my gosh, love is all around. Nightingale spirit. Okay, awesome. So we've got like enthusiasm, excitement, warmth, love is all around, and then we got brass tacks here. But wait a second, we got to deal with this. It's kind of, I could see the allure here to where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. But wait, it's like the duality, that this is so enchanting, but this is gonna rear its ugly head again. All right. Four of Swords reversed, and the Fool. Okay, someone's getting impatient. So this could be that. Maybe you're tired of waiting. Maybe you know what? This is probably them wanting to get this off the ground. They're wanting this new beginning. This is that I spoke earlier about them really wanting you to trust them. And this is you going, time will tell. But this speaks to them kind of being impatient or just frustrated with the lack of progress for this new beginning, this fresh new start, this taking a second chance with them. They're not the most patient person. This person could be kind of like, can we just, and the thing is like, what's the hurry? If we're talking about the rest of our lives, what's the hurry? And it could be because they're trying to outrun this. Well, it's good that you're taking your time then, because this needs to be managed.